There was a group of 5 people standing in a dark, futuristic room. Some were leaning against a large window showing a view of a bustling city and a purple sky filled with the sight of a colorful nebula and a large black moon. One of the people handed another strange device.
A sonic bomb? Sorry, what was it you wanted me to do?
It's pretty simple, isn't it? You want money, I want money. It's an easy deal.
Come on, Arella, Helio, Gao. Don't you see the profit we can make from this?
I'm really not sure.
It's your choice, Aurelia. We trust whatever choice you make.
As I said.
Yes, I know. It's either we do this and get to stay on Toro, or we get sent back to that awful worker ship.
Oh, not there.
Why did New Earth have to be so overpopulated?
I don't really see that you have another option.
I'm sorry to say this to such an old friend, but you have been well played.
But what about the planet? What you want us to do will destroy the entire ecosystem of this planet. What about that?
Don't worry about that. Orion here has it all sorted out, don't you?
Yes, it's our plan to build a hospital orbiting Taro. It had the perfect mass so it won't disturb a thing. It will be like nothing up there has changed.
Why build one there? Why not on Turo's surface?
If they build a surface outside of the planet, all species can go there while still receiving financial support from the Toro government, as it's a hospital near the planet. More money that way. Same with wanting us to do this deed. It's cheaper.
It's almost like you have rummaged around our heads, Aurelia. How clever you are. So then, what's your choice?
The woman in the group, leaning against the window, looks out at the moon, ruining the sight of the sky.
What are you thinking, Aurelia?
We need the money. Let's destroy the moon.
The TARDIS stuttered into view in a very clean and futuristic lobby. The doctor stumbled out and smiled when he saw that they were there. He stuck his head back through the door.
Ray, Mark, I know the journey was a bit questionable, but my amazing flying skills have got us just where we're meant to be.
Are you sure?
Yeah, come and have a look.
Might be a few minutes.
The doctor stuck his head out with a disgusted look and stepped fully out of the TARDIS. A Cyberman followed him, stumbling out in the same way that the doctor did.
Oh dear, Mark was looking a bit pale on the journey here. Poor Mark.
Doctor? I'm getting an error. BSO error. It's covering my view.
Oh, that makes sense after all the shaking. That's your balance stabilization optimizer. It'll fix itself in a few minutes. Just sit down if you can.
I'm a robot, not incompetent. I think I can sit down.
Ray sat down on a nearby chair. The doctor looked around.
It's a bit empty, isn't it?
Didn't you say this was the best hospital in the universe? It should be packed.
Maybe they upped their efficiency? I know it's a stretch, but everyone could have gone to their appointments already.
Suddenly the door opens. It's Mark. He stumbles out, doubled over and as pale as a ghost. He quickly joins Ray on the chairs, sitting next to her. Ray responds by leaning away.
Could you not get so close? I don't want you throwing up on me and short-circuiting me.
Sorry.
Thanks.
What was all that bumping, Doctor? Can you not drive?
So you assume it's my fault? Oh, how nice of you. Actually, those are just temporal shifts, or a time echo.
Which are...
Well, a temporal shift is a time vortex's version of tectonic plates on a planet. As time zones change and as time itself is slowly changing, the time zones move around the fixed points in time, causing the time vortex's version of earthquakes. We completely lost control.
And time echoes.
We don't need to get into that now. How's the error, Ray?
It's still there.
Try standing up and walking around for a bit. It might help.
Ray stands and begins to walk away from the group. As she does so, she notices the large window covering one of the many walls. Outside, it was a green, starry landscape with a purple planet taking up most of the view and a distant rainbow nebula on the other side of the window. She goes up to it.
Oh. My.
Yes, it's a beautiful sight, isn't it? The planet down there is called Toro. That nebula, Ravia 7, used to be its star. Dead now, obviously.
What's keeping the planet warm? What's making the area so... green? Isn't space meant to be black?
2 questions. Nice. Well...
Before you start, you got our appointments and room numbers in advance, right?
Yeah? Why?
And we can go to our apartment as soon as we arrive?
Yeah?
Give me mine. Hopefully they can sort out this stupid travel sickness as well as this headache.
Travel sickness? You couldn't have been a good pilot. Anyways, here you go.
The doctor reaches into his pocket and brings out 2 slips of paper. After looking at them both, he hands one to Mark. Still doubled over in the chair, Mark looks at what he's been given.
Paper. It's a bit old-fashioned.
Most secure way of doing things, I'm afraid. Computers get hacked into, info mines are a bit invasive, a nice slip of paper can't be traced or hacked at all. Actually, this is the only hospital that does that.
Room 4. Where's that?
Just over there, on the opposite side of the room.
Mark slowly got up and stumbled towards the door. The doctor joined Ray at the window and they both looked out.
How's the error?
Seems to have gone now. The walking did the trick.
Good. Here's your appointment slip. Now, as to what's keeping the planet warm, the trees on the planet produce chemicals which react to those in the atmosphere, which, when reacting, create heat. But don't tell anyone that. No one knows yet.
Wow, really? I never knew that could happen. I'm guessing the planet will eventually cool down though, right?
Naturally, yes. But people preserve it.
So why is the area green?
The nebula. When the sun died, it threw out some chemicals, which just so happened to be green. Caused all this.
The doctor turned away from the view, resting his back against the window. He looked at the inside of the hospital. He saw Mark enter his room.
Just shows all good things come to an end.
What do you mean by that?
This is a very exclusive hospital. Although it's the best in the universe, it only ever managed to orbit Toro once.
How long does that take? In New Earth days, if you wouldn't mind.
That's just the same as Earth days, isn't it? So that would be 624 New Earth days? They say the hospital just vanished. I have no idea how that could happen, but I'm not travelling there to find out. Could be dangerous. It's why I always aim to visit the hospital in the earlier stages of its creation.
Well, that's quite a while. I'm sure it helped many people, like it will me.
Well, it couldn't help my people. Would have been useful.
Your people? Humans, you mean?
You think I'm human?
But you look...
Don't even go there. You look Time Lord. Well, you would if you were human.
Time Lord?
That's the name of my species. My people. Well, actually, Time Lord is only a subsection of the species. Gallifreyan is what I should be calling my species. Doesn't matter anyways. They're all gone.
What do you mean? Who are you? I feel like I don't know anything about you, yet I trust you to take me to some random hospital.
I'm glad you trust me. When you don't.
Doctor, tell me who you are. Tell me about yourself.
Fine. I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. I'm 4,400 years old and...
Hang on. Stop. You're 4,400. You look about 14.
14? That's a bit young, isn't it? I guess at my age I should be taking that as a compliment.
So, you're really that old?
Do you believe I am?
Weirdly enough, yes. I believe everything you're saying. Why?
I mean, you did just travel through space and time in an instant, see a world-ending event where all your people got turned into Cybermen, and you were there to stop it all, see it all. After seeing all that, I'm sure many people would believe anything I'm saying, no matter how ridiculous.
This is truly ridiculous.
Ray looked away from the stunning view, leaning against the window, much like the doctor was. She looked at the piece of paper she had been given.
Room 13. Neurology department. Makes sense. So they're going to move my brain to a new body, I guess.
That's right.
Where is that room then?
Ooh, if I remember correctly, it's that...
Doctor? Ray?
The doctor pushed himself off the window and ran over to where Mark was, standing in front of his assigned room. When the doctor had got to where Mark was, he looked inside the room. It was pitch black, and it gave the doctor an uneasy feeling to look at the darkness, but as he did, the more his eyes adjusted to the inside of the room, allowing him to see a chair with a pile of bones on it. Human bones.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes. You're not hallucinating. I can see how you could, though, in this darkness.
What is it?
My GP is dead.
What?
Yes. Sorry, Mark, Ray, but I don't think you're going to be able to have your appointments today. I'll reschedule.
Doctor, this isn't a joke. Someone's dead.
I wasn't joking. You know how much of a pain it is to get an appointment to this hospital. I told you it was only around for a few days.
Have you tried switching on the light?
No, I didn't want to. You know.
Walk in. I don't blame you. This place gives me the creeps as much as it does you guys.
Oh, come on. It's just a dark room. I'll do it.
I don't think that's a good idea, Ray. Maybe we should trust our senses?
He has a point, Ray. Something bad could happen here.
This suit was designed to go to war. I'm sure I can handle a dark room. Now step away so I can get in. Thank you. So, it's a switch I'm looking for, right? Just like normal light switches? No fancy new futuristic tech?
No, none of that. Just a standard light switch.
Ah, found it. It's not working.
Strange. Maybe the lights are dead? No one's looking, are they? Sonic tech isn't allowed in here. It can interrupt with some of the machinery. But I'm sure a one-time use wouldn't hurt anything.
Maybe it's not.
The darkness almost seemed to seep away from the walls. The doctor put his Sonic away, thinking he did something wrong, and the whole group watched in utter confusion as the light of the room returned and the darkness clumped into the center of the room. It stayed sitting there, menacingly.
Did the darkness just...
Yes. And that's in the center of the room. Directly under a light. Impossible! I've seen this a few times before. But where? Come on, brain.
Don't you think that we should...
Suddenly, the darkness seemed to jump up, darting straight through the Cyberman like a ghost and escaping the room, darting down a nearby corridor.
Stunning! Ray, Mark, you stay around here. Have a look around. I'm gonna chase this thing.
Okay.
I've seen you before. But what are you? Come on, brain. Think.
As the Sonic scans the shadow, it immediately begins to writhe in pain. Half of it split off and scurried through the wall, whilst the other continued down the corridor.
Oh, so you're incorporeal too? How interesting. Annoying too. I was almost done scanning you, and a part of you just runs off.
Hello, patients of Toro Universal Hospital, known as the best hospital in the universe. I'm sorry, but this area is off limits to anyone who's not staff. You will be teleported back to the lobby.
What?
Thank you for your patronage.
No! Stop!
He looked down at himself. A light blue fire began emitting from the floor as he watched the shadow get away from him.
Of course. Of course, when I'm this close to identifying it.
Just to be clear, the doctor said to have a look around here, right?
Yep.
So does that mean look in there? Because I'm not sure I want to get up close and personal with a dead guy.
Oh, come on. It can't be that bad. Stay out here if you want to. I'm going to look around. It's not like I have anything better to do.
Ray enters the room, leaving Mark outside. She goes over to the bookshelf. Mark looks in the room at her as she picks up a black book.
So you got to investigate, and the first thing that you do is pick up a book?
Nothing better than a good book. It's something people don't understand. Reading is just amazing. And anyways, I didn't just pick up any random book.
And what did you pick up?
Medicinal report. It shouldn't be in here. It should be in a lab.
You have to remember, I have no idea what some medicinal report is.
Ah, right. It's basically a diary that talks about the development and outcomes of new medicines. This seems to be for a medicine called Cure-All.
And that would be...
It's described here as a black substance consisting of small microorganisms which, when frozen and injected, can kill any bad bacteria or virus. Wow, powerful stuff. There has to be repercussions. Oh, here! If Cure-All isn't frozen before being injected, it will react badly with the body, destroying all cells it comes in contact with. When frozen, it only kills small microorganisms inside the body and then gets destroyed by our body before it can heat up and do real harm. Wow, dangerous stuff.
Very dangerous. Could it be that my doctor, you know...
Maybe.
Hello, patients of Toro Universal Hospital. Known as the best hospital in the universe, we are sorry to report that there may be a slight amount of disturbance as we have detected unauthorized items inside the hospital. For the sake of sanitary, we will be teleporting them outside the hospital until they are retrieved. Thank you for your patronage.
So then, obviously someone is still here if some rules are meant to be broken.
Suddenly, a fire shot up from the floor, and in the fire faded a figure.
What's that?
I have no idea.
Don't worry, it's only me.
What? When did you harness the power of...
Fire!
What? Oh, that. That was just the hospital's form of teleportation. Quite an old form of teleportation, actually. He uses hydrocarbon...
If that's teleportation, how about the TARDIS?
The doctor turned behind him to where Ray was pointing. Behind him, his TARDIS was engulfed in the blue fire. In panic, he ran up to it.
No. Stop! You two. Was there a message before any of this happened? Anything? I think I was too far away to hear it.
It said it'll be put outside the hospital till it gets retrieved.
It's an unauthorized item, apparently.
Hey! It's mine. Stop this. Please. Stop! It's mine. No!
So that's it, then?
We're stuck.
No. We can't be. There's got to be something. Come on, think. Think!
Oh. Look. There it is.
Outside the large window was the TARDIS, floating by, alone in space.
Is it a manual system or automatic?
What do you mean?
If that was a manual job that teleported the TARDIS, then that means there's people about this place. We just need to ask them to bring it back. If it's automatic...
We can just override it ourselves! Amazing thinking, Ray.
I just want to get out of here so I can become human again.
So, Doctor, what is it? Manual or automatic?
No clue. But we can easily find out.
The doctor runs over to one of the pillars and then takes out his sonic.
Where is it? Where is it?
How?
We just need to see if there's still people on board. If there aren't, then we'll know it's automatic. If there are, then we're still stuck at square one. Aha! Here it is.
He pulled a square cover off the pillar and set it down on the floor. There were now wires exposed to the doctor.
What's that?
This entire hospital, the way it's built, absolutely genius. It's one massive computer. If only I can access it.
You can see the amount of people on board.
Exactly. Now, one of you, could you hold on to this wire for me? Yep, that one. Coolio. Oh, that's a word. A very nice word. I like that. Coolio, coolio, coolio.
Maybe get on with it.
Right. Ray, make sure you keep an eye on that monitor there, alright?
The doctor carried on fiddling with the wires. Mark was holding on to one of them. As they did, something floated past the group. The doctor waved his hand in the air.
Stupid fly is always buzzing around when you're busy.
It flew past them again. It floated behind the group. Curious, it then began to float in front of their faces.
Wow. This is a very secure circuit. Couldn't have designed it better myself. Now then... Ah!
The doctor jumped back, surprised at what had floated in front of him. It looked like a floating cube, glowing white. It had a very simplistic face that smiled at him.
What is that?
I don't know.
Aw, it's actually quite cute, don't you think?
Ray held open her metal hands and the cube peacefully floated down onto them.
Oh my god, it's adorable. Can we keep it?
The doctor looked at the cube with shock. Now that it was lying in Ray's hand, the top of it was exposed. Its top side had a symbol on it. A symbol the doctor recognized.
It's a hypercube.
I thought you said you didn't know what it was.
I didn't. Now I do.
What does it do?
It holds a Time Lord's thoughts. Their speech.
That's your people. I thought you said they were all dead.
They are.
Well, this one obviously isn't. You have to get them out of here, to safety.
I could track where it came from, but that wouldn't...
A person? Someone who isn't dead? Isn't that good?
But only staff can go down that corridor. You get teleported away otherwise. He could have been the person to cause all this. But then again, he may not. Hey!
Suddenly, a head poked around the corridor and into the lobby. When the person saw the group, he smiled and his entire body appeared from around the corner. He began to walk towards the group. He was tall, very tall, and wore a brown derby hat which had a ribbon around it. Pinned to the ribbon was a small brooch of the same design as on the hypercube. He wore a long brown suit that ended in tails at the bottom. Hanging from it was a monocle. Underneath this was a black blazer with a white shirt. Underneath, the top button was undone. He carried with him a brown doctor's bag outlined in gold.
Oh, hello, good fellows. I see you've been keeping my Boston safe while I've been gone.
The hypercube is yours.
So you know hypercubes. You must be well informed. He's my handy assistant. Talking about handy assistants, I see you have one of your very own.
I'm not a handy assistant.
And it speaks. I see you've trained it well.
Trained? They don't have to train me.
But you're a...
The emotional inhibitor broke.
Ah, I'm terribly sorry. How rude of me. And how rude it was for me to just walk in without introducing myself. Especially since you looked after my little friend here. I'm the inspector. This is my friend Boston. I'm sure he's already acquainted himself with you all. Now, what are all of your delightful names?
I'm Ray.
I'm Mark.
Ray and Mark, what lovely names. What a pleasure it is to meet you. How about this young man?
This young man is called the Doctor.
Oh, of course you are.
But I am.
That's impossible. Truly impossible.
So you know me then?
You? No. The Doctor? Of course. My village thought of him as a hero. Oh, that village. Red grass for miles, you know. The mountains. Oh, the mountains. All gone now.
Have we just lost him?
I think so. He's gone off on a tangent.
Sorry. Red grass? What planet exactly did you come from? There aren't many with red grass, you know.
Oh, great. Now he's gone off on a tangent.
Doctor? Aren't we meant to be getting the TARDIS? Not talking to some random guy?
TARDIS?
Not now, Ray. Inspector, tell me the planet you came from.
Oh, you wouldn't know it.
Suddenly, a light streamed from the top of Botson. It was a projection showing a ball. A planet.
Gallifrey.
You know it, don't you?
You're... Time Lord.
What? Oh no, don't praise me, good chap. No, no. I'm a mere Gallifreyan. None of that regeneration nonsense. That's for Ponsley people of Gallifrey.
So, he's a different race to you, Doctor?
No, the same. He just can't regenerate.
That didn't answer anything.
The doctor reached into his poncho and brought out a stethoscope. He wore it and put the end up to the inspector's chest. He listened for a second before putting the stethoscope to the other side of his chest. He took the stethoscope away.
Is that enough proof for you? Now then, I really don't understand why you keep referring to him as the Doctor. He can't be.
The doctor gestures for him to take the stethoscope. He does and slowly puts it on. Then the inspector put the stethoscope up to the doctor's chest and did the same thing the doctor did to him. A second later, he took the stethoscope off and handed it to the doctor, surprised.
You're...
Yes?
a Gallifreyan!
What? No!
Guys?
Oh, I just knew others survived the Time War, survived the planet going into a time bubble. Oh, what a...
Look! Out of the window! You see that blue box there?
The inspector goes up to the window, seeing a blue box in the distance. He looked at it with shock as it burst into flames, hitting Toro's atmosphere.
It's the Box of Legends!
Guys?
That is my TARDIS.
So you're...
Yes! I'm the Doctor.
You too!
What?
Why has it got so dark suddenly?
The group looked around. It was dark, impossibly dark. Light should be coming from the lamps above, but it wasn't, even though they were clearly on. The monitor inside of the pillar showed a number that kept increasing.
Vashta Narada.
What?
I remembered what this is.
So you have encountered it before?
Yes. Mark! Don't move.
Right. So, what is a Vashta Narada?
Close enough. It's a microscopic species which look like shadows. It's why that life sign counter over there is showing such a large number. There's so many of them.
So, what do they do?
Usually nothing. Just feast on roadkill, dust, and so on. With angry ones like these, long story short, strips all the flesh from your body.
This isn't possible.
So that's what happened to that person?
Exactly. But how did they get here?
Can I just point out that we are standing in a large grouping of them and I would very much like to get out of it. Could you guide me as to how?
Right, yes. That's a question. Well, I would suggest a slow walk over to that corridor over there. You see its light?
But those things could easily kill us in that time.
Well then, let's just hope we're lucky then, right? I'll go first to make sure they aren't hostile towards us yet.
Or to make sure you have the highest chance of survival?
More like making myself the guinea pig. Ray? I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to go last. You're quite loud when you walk, but don't worry. I'm sure your suit will protect you.
Oh, great.
The doctor smiled, then began to walk slowly towards the corridor, flooding the room with light. Botson followed. As he walked, he lifted his legs up high, much like you would do when walking through deep snow. The rest of the group anxiously watched as the doctor got further and further away from them and closer to the light. The doctor did one last jump and he made it up to the safe area. He turned, happy at his achievement, and signaled for Mark and the inspector to follow him. They began to do it slowly.
That's it. Slowly now. Keep coming. You're halfway there.
Suddenly, Ray began to shake.
What's she doing?
Must be that error from before. It was a balance issue. I think it might be trying to fix itself.
Well then, if it's some sort of error, then why are the shadows decreasing in size?
You two, over here. They aren't interested in us. They just want Ray. Come over here, quick.
We have to stop it.
Would you like to suggest ways of how?
I thought you said the suit would keep us safe, good fellow.
Oh yeah. Let's just look at how wrong I was, shall we?
I guess it just shows the Cybermen aren't as indestructible as I first thought.
Doctor, help her.
We can't. We have to go.
You shall not.
Oh! I see we have a new visitor. Who might you be then? Are you the same person who teleported me from the corridor?
Maybe we should go.
Calling us person is insulting.
Well, telling me what to do is insulting. So then, what are you? I assume you're the one behind this Vashta Narada business?
We are.
And there are more tricks up his sleeve. Utterly perfect.
Possession. Nice. I remember you doing that. You will never believe how annoying it made things.
They possessed Ray?
And the hospital system, just like a computer virus.
We have finally found the one to destroy our home. The one who forced us into the cold.
Your home? I did no such thing. Oh, do you still hold a grudge about the library? If that's the case, you know, I spoke to the Universe's Forest Preservation Society.
Enough!
The Cyberman had now reached the group. Its hand was outstretched in front of the doctor.
So it is me then. What proof do you have that it was me?
Others of all kinds saw you with the sonic device. The same that destroyed our home.
What? This? It's just a screwdriver. A tool. It can't do any harm.
Of course it can.
I mean, yes, inadvertently it can, but not by itself.
So you finally speak the truth. You should suffer for what you did to us.
The Cyberman's hand began to get surrounded by a black cloud of shadows. Electricity shot out of it. It looked like a miniature storm cloud.
Hang on a second. I don't think you want to do that.
I think it can do what it likes.
Killed our species, forced us into the cold.
Forced us into the cold? What does that mean? Why do you keep saying it?
The hand grew closer.
You really don't want to do that. See this? I have the same sonic device that destroyed your home. Apparently. Maybe you shouldn't be threatening the one holding it.
Why shouldn't we? You should be destroyed for what you have done.
Oh dear, you sound like a little toddler having a tantrum. You see, while we've been having this lovely chat, I've been playing with my Sonic, changing its setting. You know what that means? No? I guess I have to show you.
The Cyberman crouched down, holding its head, shaking, its contents writhing in and out of the suit in fear.
Run!
If this thing has possessed the hospital system, do you think it has access to the location in the hospital?
I almost guarantee it.
So what are you going to do about it?
Vashta Narada aren't incorporeal. They can't go through walls.
Which means?
The doctor stopped in front of a wall. He changed the setting on his Sonic as he crouched down. Mark and the inspector looked down the corridor and became anxious when they saw the Cyberman, surrounded in shadows in the distance, slowly stumbling towards the group.
Come on, we have to go.
We are going. If I can just...
A part of the wall opened up like a door.
Come on.
Boston, let's go, old chap.
The doctor and Mark pushed the door shut, the Cyberman trying to force the door open.
And... fully closed. That was close.
The corridor was now almost pitch black, only being illuminated by the light coming from Botson.
Where are we? How do you know about this place?
Saw a group of Vashta Narada go this way before. They aren't incorporeal, so it's not like they can go through walls. Means there's a worker's shaft here.
So if those things have the ability to get in here, you thought here would be a good place to go.
Best thing about this? The door isn't mechanical, so it's not like it can just be opened automatically. Also no sensors, cameras, location trackers, nothing. Perfect way to travel around the hospital. We will just have to be careful of any and all shadows.
Whilst we are in a dark corridor?
No need to be a downer, Mark. Cheer up.
I would like to see a positive from this.
At least we have a light source, old chaps. Wouldn't be good if we were in the dark now, would it? Boston is so useful, aren't you?
So, what's the plan?
Remember earlier I wanted to look at the life sign counter?
Yeah?
I still do. I never got an in-detail look at it last time. We need to know who's still alive in this place, what species they are, and where they are. The inspector obviously survived somehow. Oh, and here's the place to do it.
The doctor saw a pillar up ahead. He went up to it.
I'm guessing these pillars are some sort of shortcut to access the hospital's mainframe.
I just had a brilliant idea. Can't we just use that to take control of the hospital ourselves?
No, one of us would have to be by one of these pillars constantly, and to dodge attacks on the Vashta Narada, which will be getting more and more difficult to avoid, no doubt. One of you, hold this wire for me. Thank you, Mark.
Oh, Doctor, look! Numbers!
Ooh, there's a key here. So there are 5 humans, I guess excluding Ray, 3 of some other species, and an incalculable number of Vashta Narada.
Oh, that's giving me plenty of hope.
You can let go of the wires now, Mark. What are those 3? The ones it can't identify.
It can't be.
What?
What's the only other species that we know are definitely on board this ship? Humans, Vashta Narada, and...
Gallifreyans.
Oh goodness, how interesting. Another person from Gallifrey.
Impossible. There's absolutely no way.
Well, there is. This hospital has state-of-the-art species detection devices. It's needed in a hospital to tell the doctors what to expect when operating.
That's very true. Oh, how exciting.
I know.
Botson floated into the pillar. Numbers filled the screen on one of his surfaces, replacing his face.
What's Botson doing?
Oh, well done, Boston. He's downloading the map for us. That's what I went in search of, the map to this damned place. Good chap, jolly good.
The numbers disappeared from Botson's screen as he floated away. His face reappeared, smiling as it did. Suddenly, Botson's face scrunched as a projection shot out of his top surface. It showed a map with dots on it.
Oh wow, he downloaded the locations of these lives as well. There's us, and there's the people. The other Gallifreyan has to be with them, right?
I would expect so.
Well, let's get a move on then, before that stupid Cyberman comes back.
Boston, you wonderful thing, lead the way.
A solution has been found to forge an entrance.
The Cyberman pushes its hand against the wall, and it begins to shake once more as darkness seeps out of the hands and down the wall. This darkness then goes underneath the wall to join the group on the other side. After the suit had been sapped of darkness, it collapsed to the floor.
Ow, my head.
Hello patients of Toro Universal Hospital, known as the best hospital in the universe. We are sorry to report that there may be a slight amount of disturbance as we have detected unauthorized items inside the hospital. For the sake of sanitary, we will be teleporting them outside the hospital until they are retrieved. Thank you for your patronage.
Blue fire began to surround the Cyberman as it went unconscious. The fire grew around it, enveloping it. Suddenly, the fire died down and the Cyberman was gone. Inside the tunnels, the group were still following Botson. They had just heard the end of the transmission.
What was that?
It was the same speech as before. The same that caused the TARDIS to be thrown outside.
Why say it again?
Wait, the transmission? I remember something. Something Ray read.
Is it important?
I think so. She picked up this book when you asked us to investigate. Some medicinal...
Medicinal report?
That's the one! She read that and it was for a new medicine that they were making. Apparently it can cure anything.
Bloody hell. Powerful stuff.
More powerful than anything I've ever heard of. It's strange that this wasn't something done in a lab. Surely a hospital isn't authorized to test medicine.
That's what Ray said. It said that if it wasn't injected right, then it would destroy all organic cells inside of the body. I think you had to inject it whilst the medicine was cold.
Did it give a description of what this medication looked like? Medicinal reports usually do.
Yes, it did. I think it said it was black and... Oh, it was made up of microorganisms.
Just a guess. But I'm guessing this new medicine was the Vashta Nerada.
That's what I thought. The whole forced into the cold thing makes sense now.
Do you think that's how many people got killed? I was here when it happened. Everyone seemed to be there 1 second, the next, they were gone. Do you think they took that medication and it destroyed them whilst in the body?
Maybe. That would make sense. Hang on. You said they were gone. What do you mean?
I mean very literally gone. Like, they just vanished.
Where do you think they are then?
You're breathing them in.
What?
Everything gone. Even bone made into dust. They must be angry. To be honest, so would I if I got stuffed inside some random person's body. Yeah. They're here. The people. On the other side of this wall. Coolio. Let's see if we can get this door open then, hey?
A group of 5 people were inside a small room containing only 3 beds and a table. One of them began to pace whilst another looked out of the window of a thick metal door. The rest sat on the 2 beds.
The window is completely black. Can't see a thing.
It's those shadows.
Let's face it, everyone. We're trapped.
And you two are going to get us out of it. You are the ones who made this place. And you, Orion, were the one to start experimenting with that god-awful medicine.
With amazing stuff. Everyone I tested it on, it was cured of that bacterial viral infections immediately.
That was until it began to turn people into dust.
I knew we shouldn't have touched that moon.
What did you just say?
Well,
You don't still believe it was the moon that did this, do you? You don't still believe there was life there?
Corax, leave him alone.
I don't think you're in any position to boss me around. I set up this nice little room for you all. A room that, may I add, saved our lives.
Only because you went cheap and didn't put automatic doors on this place.
Just stop arguing, guys.
And stop telling me what to do. Listen here, Ryan and I were the ones to save your lives.
We're setting loose a thing!
Shut up!
Corax raises his fist towards Helio.
You hit him! I opened this door.
How about no to both of those?
Everyone turns, confused, to see the doctor standing there. Behind him, the wall was open like a door. Inside was a rusted corridor with 2 other people inside.
What?
Instead, we can all just happily leave this room in this nifty little tunnel here.
It's very nice and snug in here. Definitely better than this shabby little room.
Well, let's agree to disagree on that one.
And go where?
You made this place, right? I overheard you talking.
I did.
And you didn't know there was a worker shaft right here. Sheesh. You guys could have escaped this room ages ago. Do you know how this place teleports people?
It was a simple hydrocarbon displacement.
Yes, I know. But where does this take place?
Well, where everything takes place. The main processor.
Doctor, what are you thinking?
Yes. What's all this Troy thinking?
And why would I tell you? Everyone, inside now. Unless you want to die.
The doctor enters the tunnel, and the group inside the tunnel begin to walk down. After a few seconds of looking at each other later, Aurelia, Corax, Orion, Go, and Helio enter the tunnel and begin following the group.
Oh, chaps, please close the door. It's a bit chilly, you know.
In a roundabout way, he's trying to say that it's safer to keep the door closed.
It's said in a roundabout way to make them feel safer.
Safer than we do now? Impossible.
Close the door, Helio.
Oh, thank you, Watson. Right, you see this map here?
From this weird floating box.
Don't call him that. His name is Boston. A box. Utterly ludicrous.
I think he can call him what he wants. So, what about the map?
Where's the main processor?
It's not there.
What?
It's not there. The map only shows the areas which are not monitored.
Ah. Well, where would it be?
Well, obviously, I'm remembering a plan I made 800 New Earth days ago, but...
800 days? New Earth days? You count in New Earth days?
We come from New Earth. What of it?
How long has this hospital been active for?
We have nearly orbited the planet once.
What? Oh no.
Doctor,
Don't be glum, old chap. What's the problem?
It doesn't matter.
The doctor gets pushed up against the wall by Aurelia, who is very obviously angry.
What are you thinking? We are in a hospital full of shadows that eat people, with a system that tries to kill us. I think we should know.
You would never believe me if I told you.
I think you can believe pretty much everything you say with what's gone on today.
Well, I'm a time traveller. I've seen the future of this hospital.
What nonsense.
Knew you wouldn't believe me.
I do. What happens to the hospital?
It never completes one rotation. It gets close, but it vanishes just before it completes one.
Corax, you're right. This is utter nonsense.
What do you mean it just vanishes?
It disappears. It's there 1 second, then the next, it's gone.
Let's say you are telling the truth. We put a lot of money into this hospital, so how do we stop this from happening?
Well, we can't. Since I've already seen the future of this hospital and I've seen that it just disappears, there's nothing we can do. It's become a fixed point in time. If we did save this hospital, we would disrupt the whole flow of time. That would cause catastrophic events.
Enough of your stupid speeches. How do we save this hospital?
We can't. But I can get everyone out of here before anything happens.
No. We are going to save this hospital. Do you know how much—
Shut up, Corax. It's not all about the money. So many people have died today. Do you really want to add that number by sacrificing yourself? You have two options. Do your own thing and most probably die. Or stick with the group.
Aurelia lets go of the doctor in surprise. He brushes himself off.
Thank you.
Can you promise that everyone here will get out safe?
I can't read the future. The simple answer is that I don't know. But we'll certainly try.
That's good enough for me.
Good! Now let's get back to planning. Where's the processor?
Well, I think I was about here.
Orion points at a blank space on the center of the map.
Have you got that, Boston? Can you take us there? Oh, good show.
Why do we need to go there?
Didn't you work it out from what I said before? If we access the teleporter systems, we should be able to get out of here.
And if not?
If not, we can figure another way out. I'm sure of it. Anyways, let's go.
Of course. We can't stay sitting around here all day. Carry on, Boston.
The group carry on walking, Botson leading, followed closely by the doctor and Aurelia, who were followed by Mark and the inspector. Then Corax and Orion, and finally, at the back, Go and Helio.
You haven't even told us who you are. I don't trust new people very easily, especially those who just appear out of nowhere.
I'm known to do that. Obviously, you don't have to trust me, but that just means you have a much higher chance of dying. Do you really want to go how everyone else did? You saw how they died, right?
They just exploded into dust. Shadows came pouring out of them.
Alright. You don't need to go into the details. I can picture it.
So then, who are you?
I just had this conversation with my friend. I'm the Doctor. And before you ask, that is my name. Nothing else to it. A title sounds so much cooler than a name. So then, who are all these people with you?
You're only asking me this to try and stop me from thinking about everything that is happening, right?
You saw right through that, eh?
I'm known to do that. But it's not needed. I can handle myself without you trying to make me feel better.
You're a harsh one.
I need to be when I'm around those guys. Oran and Corax. They're the people who got us into this mess.
Us being?
Me, Aurelia, and my friends Gore and Helio. We were born on New Earth, and our parents died in a fire. In a block of flats we lived in. Made us orphans.
Which means you have to be put on a worker ship?
Correct. That's where we were. The HS Unitas. For 15 years, going between the 7 systems, delivering parcels, packages, etc. That's when we found our way on Toro. We snuck off the ship because we couldn't bear being there anymore. That's when those two found us. They threatened to tell the authorities about our escape, so we did deeds for them to keep them happy.
They used and threatened you?
Yeah. The last job we did, though, that was awful.
What was it?
They gave us a sonic bomb. We had to destroy the moon.
You destroyed the moon to make way for the hospital? destroyed? The moon! The moon was the Vashta Nerada's home. Of course that's where they lived. Pitch. No wonder the moon was so black.
What are you going on about?
The shadows. They're called Vashta Nerada. They know their home was destroyed by some sort of sonic device. They saw me using one, this handy thing here, and blamed me for destroying their planet. I can see the mix-up.
How did they know it was a sonic device?
They're more intelligent than you might think, you know. Anyways, when the moon was destroyed, millions of them must have been thrown out into space, and then the hospital was built around where they were, trapping the Vashta Nerada inside the hospital to be discovered and used as medicine.
That's exactly what Helio thought. So, I destroyed the home of these creatures? The reason all these people died in this hospital was because of me?
No. I don't see that you had a choice. I would have done the same in your position. Living in those ships, I know from my friend Mark, is a nightmare. No. It's his Korax and Orion's fault. But they seem like the oblivious types, so they probably don't know a thing.
Thank you.
So why tell me all this? Usually I had to really crack someone open to know their deepest secrets.
Well, I knew you were the type to pry. I also knew you were the type that had a chance of saving us. I thought that maybe if I told you about my past before telling you about what I did, it would soften the blow.
Trying to win me over by sympathy?
You could say that.
So, you're one of the Doctor's species?
Of course.
How did you get off of Gallifrey? Wasn't there a war?
And who told you that?
You said it earlier. You said that there was some time war. If there was, how did you get off Gallifrey? Must have been difficult.
Oh, trust me, it was. On my final day on Gallifrey, a bomb fell onto our house. Destroyed the beautiful thing. I was out scavenging whilst this happened. It was something you had to do during the war. Food was scarce. When I came back and saw my house in ruins, I saw my father crawling out of the house. It was an awful sight.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
Don't be. These things happen. In my father's dying breath, he gave me the key to his TARDIS, Type 54. Marvelous machine.
He lifts up his doctor's bag.
Which I have with me now. I just managed to escape, you know.
What? So we can get out of here?
No. You see, when I was leaving Gallifrey, I got chased down by a Dalek ship. The TARDIS got pretty battered, but it was repairable. That was until I crash-landed on Toro. Because obviously I had no idea how to fly a TARDIS, just knew a few basic controls my father had taught me. That's when it was destroyed beyond the TARDIS being able to fix itself, so I needed to find replacement parts to fix it. That's why I came to this hospital. I was hoping someone here would give me a lift to some place which sells parts. My father told me about a place. Kalaki's, I think around this time his shop was outside the time vortex, which should make it easy for me to get resources.
What's this about a TARDIS?
Just telling Mark about my TARDIS.
A portable TARDIS? Wow. How didn't I think of that? Hang on, can't we just use that to get out of here?
No. He said that it's damaged beyond repair. He needs to go back to Kilaki's or something.
Yeah, good old Kalaki.
Right. Need to do something. They can't destroy this hospital. This is the biggest moneymaker we've had in years.
It is the best moneymaker we have ever had.
You're right. We need to think of a way to save this place.
Well, think about this logically. The people in this hospital just vanished, right? If the same happens to the hospital, that means...
It's those shadows that caused the hospital to disappear.
Correct. That's if this guy is telling the truth.
So what do we do about it?
Well, if we did save the hospital, we might get a massive congratulations for it. Maybe even a good cash prize. They won't even think about the people that were killed in the process.
I like where this is going.
So the plan is to teleport ourselves out of here, right? I know that process better than anyone else. If I tweak a few things, I could teleport all the people onto Tarthel's surface, practically saving them, which we'll get accommodated for. Then we need to teleport these shadow things elsewhere too. The only caveat is that we'd have to stay in this hospital to teleport the shadows away. Since there's so many of them, I'm sure it'll be easy.
You're a genius, Orion.
What are you saying?
Oh, great. You were listening?
We heard some parts, yes. It's not like we couldn't overhear when you're saying something so absurd.
Wouldn't the system only be able to teleport a few life forms at a time? Do you know how much strain it would put on the system, teleporting millions of microorganisms?
I designed the system myself. I'm sure I know what it's capable of.
I'm going to tell Aurelia.
You do, and you're dead.
Aurelia?
Yeah?
Go, go, go! Those things, they're back!
What?
They are back!
The doctor looked back, expecting to be able to see further down the corridor than he could. It seemed like the light illuminating from Botson stopped in a harsh line and turned to shadows, looking very unnatural. They were back.
Everyone, run!
Everyone began to sprint down the corridor, the shadow catching up to the group as they ran. After running down the maze-like corridor, for a few seconds, it began to open out into a large room as rusted as the rest of the corridor, but filled with light. Pipes and wires surrounded every surface of the room.
You, Orion, was it? Where are we?
The central processor.
Helio? Where's Go?
I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything.
The doctor looked behind and saw behind him that the entrance they used to get into the processor was now blocked out with darkness.
They wanted us in here. We were herded like sheep.
Oh dear. Can we still execute the plan?
Yes, can you still execute the plan?
You don't even know my plan.
Don't we? We had a group of us following you this entire time. Don't you think we heard?
You're bluffing.
Maybe. But the important thing is that we will get you to do what we want.
Do you really think I'm just going to allow you to kill me?
Suddenly, a wall on the far side of the room slid upwards, showing a window that showed the outside. There, floating among the stars, was Ray.
You have approximately 8 minutes to save your friend, in which time you will be dead.
You. Why?
Oh my god. Ray?
You destroyed our home. You forced us into the cold. This will give you more motivation to allow yourself to be sacrificed.
Even if I did, you think that someone perfectly innocent should get the blame? You think that you should kill everyone in this hospital? For what? To prove a point?
It's exactly right. If your home was destroyed, would you do the same thing?
My home is destroyed.
Our home?
And neither of us have intentionally wanted to hurt anyone.
Makes us think you had to. Much like we have to.
That's the thing though. You don't.
How about all of us that got injected into people's bodies? What do we do then? Kill ourselves to let the people survive?
Ah.
It does have a point.
But you can still fix this. If you stop this now, I can find you a new home. Somewhere new to live. Maybe even better than that moon.
We won't feel whole till we have avenged our last species.
Geez, you lot are loyal to your own, aren't you? Wish humans were more like that.
Enough. We keep our promises. And so you shall be destroyed.
Suddenly, the walls started turning into a shadowy black, and Vashta Nerada began to pour out of the cracks in the wall. The shadows waterfalled down the wall and towards the group along the floor.
Right. Now this makes things a little more interesting.
Oh dearie me, this isn't good, is it?
I wonder how you noticed that. What are you going to do, Doctor?
I have no clue.
I have a plan.
What?
I tell them the truth. I say it was me.
That's utterly stupid. You're practically committing suicide.
It'll give you enough time to do what you have to do. Providing it works.
Please, Aurelia, I know you're upset about Go, but...
But what? I'm just a criminal. I got everyone into this mess by getting you guys off the ship and in cahoots with these guys.
Hey!
I was the one to make the call to destroy the moon. And look where we are now. I caused all of this.
Aurelia, I really don't...
I make the calls. Okay? Don't try to stop me.
She's actually going to do it.
Aurelia, don't do this.
Oi, you! It was me. It was all me. I destroyed your home. I caused you to get put into this hospital. It was all me.
The shadows stopped their advance on the group.
Scan suggests you're telling the truth, but not the whole truth.
What do you...
This is because we know it wasn't only you involved in the destruction of our home.
Yes, that's right. I was also involved. You caught me. Thanks for sticking up for me, Aurelia, but...
What are you doing?
You really think I would know how to work the teleportation system here? Look how massive this room is. I don't even know where to start. But he...
The doctor chucked his sonic over to Orion.
That was a bad throw. He knows how to do it. He will get us out of here. So, what are you planning to do with us? Kill us now?
Of course. The universe shouldn't have created you.
I like it. Getting straight to it.
The shadows began advancing on the group again.
You're such an idiot.
Aurelia, with me. We run to the other side of the room. You guys, Orion, Helio, Inspector, and Mark, you work on getting the teleporter working. They shouldn't be focusing on you.
What does this do?
It'll keep the Vashnarada away from you guys. Stop you from getting distracted.
The what?
Not now. It'll also help solder the wires needed and such. Don't forget to teleport us to the surface of the planet. Got that?
Doctor, come on.
Of course.
The doctor and Aurelia ran off into separate directions, splitting the shadows up and distracting them, leaving the rest of the group free to do as they wished.
So then everyone, where's the teleportation system?
If I remember correctly, it's just over here.
Do you know what you're doing?
Of course he does. He just needs time.
And for you guys to stop talking. Now we need to access the system from here remotely, so I'll need one of you guys to hold these wires.
Oh, like the doctor did, of course.
Now how do you guys use this thing? I need to solder these two wires together.
Point and press, I think?
When do we know when it's done?
The light will go out automatically. My father had it. Mighty useful tool.
And off he goes on a tangent again.
Right, done. I need the information of everyone here. The DNA structure. Boston has a scanner on him. Boston!
A light shines out of Botson, and it points to Orion, Corax, Helio, Mark, and the Inspector.
Now then, get the doctors Arelias and Rays. Then come back so we can get it off you.
Oh, hello, Botson. Scanning us, I see. Of course, you need that info to teleport us.
You shall meet your doom. We shall have our revenge.
Oh, please. I've heard it all before. Don't you want to be the better species in this situation? Yes, it's the humans' fault, all of it.
Oh, thanks.
But they did it without even knowing what they were doing to you.
You're killing hundreds of innocent people.
They knew we were living species, yet they forced us into the cold.
But you're alive, aren't you? Be thankful for that.
Botson scans Aurelia, then flies towards Ray outside. As he does so, he hits the window, not seeing it.
What's this?
Oh, don't mind that. It's just my friend. Focus on me.
Scan suggest it's trying to get the DNA data of every life form in this room.
What? No!
Orion, it can't get outside. Is there a way outside?
Or do I really have to?
Yes, you do.
There's a vent that leads outside over there. It's open from time to time to keep down the processor. We'll suck the air out of the room.
What's this DNA for?
Luckily, the circuit to power the door is just here. I just need to short it and...
Air leaving. Air levels becoming critical.
The air. What's happening to it?
Boston, over there, quick!
Botson zooms over to where the Inspector was pointing. It was a small hole in the wall that he'd opened. He was now outside. He zoomed over to Ray and began to scan her.
How long does the average human survive being suffocated to death? Files suggests 5 minutes. Certainly a more worthy death than being destroyed by us.
You monster!
You destroyed our home. You killed millions of us. Doesn't that make you more of a monster than us?
They didn't suffer.
Files on the system suggest that humans tortured those who did wrong for days on end before they died. Doesn't that make us better than humans?
That was thousands of years ago. Humans have learned since then. No torture takes place now. None. Well, not legally anyways.
How long does it take for that stupid box to finish scanning?
Not too much longer.
Botson stopped scanning Ray and zoomed back over to the hole. He was inside.
Orion.
Doing it!
Orion separated wires he was holding together.
Establishing. What's happening?
Must have been a temporary thing. Now then, back to me. Focus on me.
So, how do I get this info off the box?
He's not a box. Give me that.
The Inspector takes the sonic off Orion and scans Botson. He hands the sonic back to Orion.
Now just scan it on the circuit board.
Alright, done. Now, ha! Okay, now we just pick and choose.
Pick and choose? What do you mean?
Oh no, he's actually executing his plan.
Plan? What plan?
Nothing for you to be worried about. Now, why don't you...
Those 5, what are they doing?
The shadows start to leave Aurelia and the doctor.
They aren't doing anything. We're the ones that did things wrong to you, not them.
All humans should suffer. None have ever helped us. Only Hende.
Orion, the Sonic!
That noise. That horrible noise.
I'm sorry about what happened to you.
You? Sorry. How could you be? You could never truly be sorry. Not someone as murderous as you.
I don't mean to rush you, old chap, but how long... Teleportation sequence started.
Teleportation of 99999 life forms will begin in 10 seconds.
What? Why so many life forms?
Everyone is getting teleported but me and Korax. Korax and I need to stay behind and teleport the shadows.
No, you can't. It's too much.
It will fry the systems. Of course it won't. I made this teleporter. I know what it's capable of.
You will not get away from us.
I don't know if we will at this rate.
They're getting used to the noise. They're coming closer.
All must die. We must have revenge.
Suddenly, Aurelia, Helio, and Ray from outside disappeared.
It's working.
Told you it would.
Good old Orion. We are going to make millions.
No!
Mark, the inspector, and Botson disappeared.
No! Stop this!
Orion, you have to teleport you and Korax too.
Too late. You're just jealous because we're going to make a fortune for saving you guys.
What? No, you pair of idiots. Those things are going to kill you. The system won't be able to handle teleporting all those life forms.
The system will if we stay behind and control it. Let's just see who's right, shall we? Thank God he's gone.
No, both of you shall suffer. Suffer for helping or kill escape.
No, I don't think so. You're going to be teleported. Teleported far away. Do it, Orion.
System overload.
What was that?
We can't teleport all the shadows at once. They were... right.
What?
Seems like you were wrong. We will make sure you both suffer.
The shadows from the floor rise up, forming a tidal wave above Orion and Korax. They look at each other.
Oh, shit.
The doctor appears on the ground of the purple forest. He looks around and he sees the TARDIS a few yards away.
Where is...
Orion and Korax? Why don't you tell them, Helio?
Up there!
They all look up at the hospital in the sky.
What? Idiots.
Selfish bloody idiots.
Suddenly, it implodes on itself. Darkness begins to seep out. After a few seconds, the darkness had regrouped into the shape of a ball in the sky.
Pitch. It's back.
Just as I thought. System overload. It wasn't able to teleport the Vashnarada, even with them staying behind to control the system. The Vashnarada must have been extremely annoyed at our escape, and in response...
It's the entire bloomin' hospital.
Exactly. The hospital is the same mass as the moon. When it was destroyed, it formed into Tora's new moon. Its new pitch.
What a beautiful series of events.
I guess we're free from them.
From Orion and Korax? I guess you are. Although the circumstances in which you became free could have been a bit better.
Good riddance.
So where are we?
The outskirts of the main city of Toro. See over there? I guess you'll be leaving us then.
Yeah, we have to get going. Don't want to miss the hyperbus to JONNY.
Going to visit Kalaki?
Yeah.
Mind if I do something before you both leave?
Go ahead.
Mark, my Sonic.
What?
Don't worry, I'm not doing anything to hurt you.
Not Gallifreyan, I suspect.
Correct.
So can we.
Of course.
Have this from me. It will help to pay for the hyperbus fee. I hear they can be quite expensive.
A credit card. I can't take this.
Of course you can. I don't need it. Now then, run along.
Well, thank you. All of you. For helping us.
We really thought we were going to die. Thank you.
Come on, Helio. Let's get going.
Do you know how much was on that card?
Oh, about 20 billion bits.
20 billion? Why give them so much?
Is that a lot? I've never been good with currencies. Have you, Boston?
A hypercube retains a Time Lord's memories. You must have made him conscious somehow. How?
Let's just say he's the only family I have left.
That didn't really answer my question.
Why so glum? There's no need. It makes everyone around you sad as well.
Me?
Of course. Yes, a Gallifreyan may have been killed, but that was their own doing. You're never alone, dear friend. You have me, another of your species. Oh yes, and him, of course.
Very true. It just would have been nice, you know.
I agree, but I have a feeling we'll be meeting up very soon.
Why is that?
Botson floats over to the TARDIS and a beam shoots out of him.
What's he doing?
Oh, don't worry, good chap. He's just scanning your TARDIS. It'll be easier for me to find you again.
When you get your TARDIS repaired?
Repaired? Hang on. Wasn't the place you wanted to go Kalakis?
Yes. Why?
Aren't Helio and Aurelia going there?
By Jove! You're right. Sorry to cut this short, dear friends. Boston, with me.
Yeah. Reminds me of my previous incarnation.
Glad I met you instead then. Seems like a right airhead.
You would have no idea. What do you think the Inspector meant? The only family he has left?
I have no idea. Oh, wait. His father.
His what?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Alright. Well then, time to get Ray in the TARDIS into hospital. She doesn't have enough oxygen to her brain, must have passed out. Plus, the fact she was possessed.
So, she's not possessed anymore?
Oh no, if she was, she'd be moving around like... What's something that moves around a lot?
I get the picture. She would be moving a lot more than she is currently. So, how do we know she isn't dead?
Do you want her to be?
What? Of course not.
I was joking. I can tell because I can see some lights are still on in her suit. They wouldn't be if she was dead. Right then. It's getting cold out here. You lift up the legs, I'll get the arms.
The pair begin to lift the unconscious Cyberman up and take her to the TARDIS. In the distance, the Inspector had reached Aurelia and Helio, and they began to talk, all walking off towards the city, happily.